Kingdom Come Deliverance is a difficult game for me to categorize, not in terms of the genre, but in terms of how I feel about it. Typically I find myself despising the fucking game, getting frustrated at how tedious everything is and how easy it is to lose progress. But I do enjoy difficult games, so I enjoy this one. Across 4 attempted playthroughs, I have yet to actually finish the game, but have had vastly different experiences each time. It took me a decent 15 hours to realize how the game wanted me to play it. I most likely am just dumb and didn't understand how deep the role-playing goes in this game, but I did figure it out nonetheless. So I guess the best place to start should be at the beginning. Let's take a look at my first experience with the game, shall we? At the very start of the game, you are given a Bethesda-style intro sequence that takes 45 minutes to sit through and has very little bearing on the actual game. Of course, the first time you play, it's not apparent, but after repeated playthroughs, it becomes a little annoying, kind of like another big open-world RPG with very limited player influence. So you run around and do some chores for daddy, choose to be a goody to shoes or a menace, and bring some OnlyFans money to your big city by AGF. If you're dumb like me, you'll get put in jail and burned to death when the humans invade. Alright, humans invade. But not before you embarrass yourself trying to fight like an anime in front of daddy and some royalty dick. Henry runs. He runs so far away. Or rides on a horse if you're smarter than I am. You join up with these guards at a nearby settlement. The guy in charge says some alpha chat shit to the humans, and they run away. Henry decides the smartest decision is to run away from the shelter he just got and go back to his smoldering ruin of a town to bury his parents. Upon arriving, Henry gets angry because some teenagers are looting corpses. I found this hilarious because the entire time I had been in the town, I was also looting corpses. Henry buries his parents and also finds out his OnlyFans GF is dead. I think he passes out or something and ends up at a mill up the street. The game has finally decided to start at this point, and it's been almost 2.5 hours since I started, being that this is my first playthrough, and wanted to explore and do things. So, now, the game has gone from a slightly open, yet guided experience, to here's a massive map. Your objective is all the way over here. You don't know how to fight. You're hungry, thirsty, and that mill girl Bianca keeps sitting on me. Naturally, being an average Oblivion enjoyer, I start to walk directly toward my objective. It's the fastest route. It shouldn't be too bad. 5 minutes of walking and I'm ambushed by 3 bandits who surround me and slap my nuts into the ground. Fun game. It's all good though. I was only walking for 5 minutes. It wasn't that much progress lost. I wake up back at the mill house. Bianca hits on me and I start walking toward my objective. This time taking the road instead. 15 minutes of walking and bandits come and surround me at a narrow crossing in some trees. Not slapped. 15 minutes of progress lost. Fun game. From here I don't really remember what the game actually wanted me to do, because a lot of it involves walking for hours, waiting for things to happen, going to another place and waiting for things to happen. It's very boring. But where the game starts to pick up is in the combat. At first, Henry's a wet noodle, can't even swing a sword proper, because he is a peasant. It does make sense that he has no fighting ability, and does explain why the combat is actual doggy at the beginning of the game. I found this concept interesting, so I decided to see what I could do if I trained myself to fight. I'm not even joking about that. It actually took a rough 10-15 hours to train Henry to fight. That isn't even full skill levels either. At the most, I had Henry's defensive skill and swordsmanship skill up to about 14-16 out of 20. At first this struck me as a cool concept. Henry sucks and you need to train him. Then I had realized I had about 20 to 25 hours in a game I didn't even really understand the plot of. I hadn't done anything involving the story, aside from some murder mystery thing, and I'd spent about as much time as it would take me to finish 1 to 3 games, respectively. I don't usually care about the story in a game when playing it, so I kind of shrugged that off and continued to see what I could do outside of the main story. There are tournaments that run every week in Rate, and I had spent plenty of time training myself, so I chose to become a gladiator. The tournaments are relatively easy. They are just one-on-one fights, about 5 or so in a row. The pay on them is decent, so I continued doing this until I could afford real armor and weapons. At about the 35 to 40 hour mark, Henry was decked to the dick in armor. I had done it. Henry was actually a knight, and no longer a weep poser who got his ass beat every 5 minutes. I actually was enjoying myself. Could this game actually be good? I decided it was time to search for the lost treasure hidden around the map, and I felt confident. I was a multi-time tourney winner. I honed my skills and protected myself as best as I could. Time to test it in the wild. 15 minutes later and I accidentally stumbled into a camp of humans. There may be about a dozen of them. I've never seen the game have that many hostiles active at the same time. I'm fucked. There's no way I'm surviving this. They're going to surround me on all sides and slap my nuts. I've seen this before. Of course I still try and fight. Henry isn't a bitch anymore. Much to my surprise, I had taken out a good 5 or 6 of them before they had gotten too close together. This might actually be possible. I just killed half of them. But no. They wisened up at the least opportune moment, circled me like that one meme of the dude standing behind the girl, and they slapped my nuts. I don't think it really matters how long you spend practicing in this game. There will always be some monumentous task you won't be able to overcome, just like in real life. Maybe that's why I don't like this game. It mimics reality in a way I'm sure the developers never intended. In any event, fuck this stupid-ass game. I'm G-Man, and I will see you again soon. Not that you'll be seeing me.